The if command in Splunk SPL is a powerful function that allows you to implement conditional logic within your search queries. It enables you to evaluate conditions and return different values based on whether those conditions are true or false. This function is essential for data transformation and creating dynamic field values based on specific criteria. The if command follows a simple if-then-else logic pattern that makes your searches more intelligent and responsive to data patterns. The basic syntax of the if function consists of three components within parentheses. First, you specify the condition to evaluate. Second, you provide the value to return when the condition is true. Third, you specify the value to return when the condition is false. The structure follows the pattern: if opening parenthesis condition, comma, true value, comma, false value, closing parenthesis. This syntax is consistent and must be followed exactly for the function to work properly. Here's a practical example of the if command in action. We use the eval command to create a new field called status. The if function checks whether the response time field is greater than 100 milliseconds. If the condition is true, meaning the response time exceeds 100, the function returns the string slow. If the condition is false, meaning the response time is 100 milliseconds or less, it returns the string fast. This creates a categorical field that simplifies performance analysis. When you need to evaluate multiple conditions in sequence, you can nest if statements within each other. This example creates a priority field based on severity levels. The outer if checks if severity is greater than 8, returning critical if true. If false, it evaluates a nested if that checks if severity is greater than 5, returning high if true. The innermost if checks if severity is greater than 2, returning medium if true or low if false. This creates a 4-tier priority system based on numerical severity values. The if function can evaluate complex conditions using logical operators like an and or. In this example, we determine access levels based on multiple criteria. The condition checks if the user type equals admin and the login count is greater than 10. If both conditions are true, it returns full access. If this compound condition is false, it evaluates a nested if that checks if the user type equals user, returning limited access, or guest access for any other user type. This demonstrates how to combine multiple field values in decision-making logic. The if command works effectively with string pattern matching using functions like match. This example categorizes servers based on hostname patterns. The first condition uses the match function to check if the hostname starts with web, using a regular expression. If true, it returns web server. The nested if checks if the hostname starts with DB, returning database if true, or other for any hostname that doesn't match either pattern. This approach is valuable for automated server classification and inventory management. Proper handling of null or missing values is crucial in data processing. This example demonstrates a 3-tier evaluation system. First, the isNull function checks if the score field contains a null value, returning no score if true. If the score exists, the nested logic evaluates the actual score value. Scores of 90 or above receive excellent, scores of 70 to 89 receive good, and scores below 70 receive poor. This pattern ensures that missing data is handled gracefully, while providing meaningful categorization for valid scores. Following best practices ensures your if statements remain maintainable and performant. Keep your conditional logic simple, and avoid deeply nested if statements that become difficult to read and debug. For scenarios requiring multiple conditions, consider using the case function instead, which can be more readable and efficient. Always test your logic with various data scenarios, including edge cases and null values. Document complex conditional logic with comments, and consider breaking very complex evaluations into multiple eval statements for better clarity and maintainability. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.